My first Sunday at Life Point, man, I didn't want to be here. I had some friends that were attending Life Point, and they had asked me several times to join them, and I kind of put them off. And so finally, they just wouldn't stop asking. And so I said yes. I felt super uncomfortable, and I walked in the doors, and everybody was friendly, but I found a seat with my friends and just sat there. Part of the reason why I didn't want to be here is because I was going through a divorce. I just wanted to hide. I didn't want to be around people that that knew my story. I didn't want to answer questions. I just wanted to hide. And just a couple minutes into worship, I just began to cry. And God began to really speak to me and really work on me, because I was running as fast as I could, just kind of away from the church. Man, God began to speak to me, began to just let me know that everything was gonna be okay. And that Sunday, JP was leading worship, and God just really spoke through JP. Sometime in the worship time, he kind of brought the band down and just began to speak that there's someone here today that's hurting, that is hurt, and God just wanted me to tell you that's going to be okay. And those words, man, just resonated with me. And so it's a pretty powerful experience. The very next Sunday, I brought my kids with me, because it was important for me as a dad that they loved the church. And of course, they ran back after their first Sunday and just loved it. That's when I decided that Life Point was going to be my church. And so really just began this journey of trying to heal. Honestly, I made some really poor choices, kind of along the journey. And somehow, some way, like God he just kept on pulling me back. But I think what sustained me in the whole process was the relationships on the worship team. I was shadowing. Basically, I came and I just checked out a worship rehearsal, and about halfway into it, Keith Dudley pulled me aside. It's like, hey man, let's talk. And I remember I shared my story with him about what I was going through at the time, and he just loved me. He just loved me through the hurt, through the pain. I was able to be just really transparent with him. I felt comfortable to share just a little bit that I was going through a divorce. And I remember the team just kind of they just loved me. There was no sense of judgment, no sense of, that I was less than. They just loved me where I was at. And that just really, really spoke volumes to me.
My mindset on Sundays, and I'd encourage anybody, is to have the difference between a worker mindset versus a servant mindset. I serve family, I serve friends, I work for a boss. You know what I'm saying? God is not a boss, he's a father to us. Like when you come into this revelation of who God is to you, you generously serve because that's what he does. So, when I hear this story about Dan, I'm just like, wow, God, look at you. You over there, God, and that's amazing. Because all he says is be faithful, and he does the multiplying. Every time we get to serve God, it can be a special moment for someone else. So just remember, whether you're serving, whether you're giving, you're always just one moment away, literally, from experiencing more of him so that it can change you and them.